Okay, people, if you have drugs, alcohol, anything illegal in your car, then don't be driving around with one tail light. That gives the cops a reason to pull you over. And that's exactly what happened to this defendant. He was pulled over for one traffic light. But when the cop pulled him over, he discovered something more heinous: drugs and alcohol. So let's sit back and see how Judge O'Donnell presides over this case. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, as we're going to keep pumping out great videos on this platform.
Against you, do you understand the prosecutor must prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt at a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
After the witnesses are done testifying for the prosecutor, you have the constitutional right to have your lawyer cross-examine the witnesses. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to a trial, you have the right to have witnesses come here and testify for you. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If those witnesses refuse to come to court, I'll issue an order called a subpoena to make them come and testify. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the right to testify at trial if you want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have the constitutional right to not testify at trial if you do not want to. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you decide not to testify at trial, nobody is permitted to comment on that decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you go to trial and you're found guilty, you have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you file an appeal, you have the constitutional right to have a lawyer represent you in the appeal. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you could not afford to hire a lawyer, one will be provided at no cost to you. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you file an appeal, you have the right to have a transcript of all the hearings in this case. Do you understand that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you waiving that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you could not afford a copy of those transcripts, they'd be given to you at no cost. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty here today, you will not have the right to appeal the guilty finding. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about any of these rights?
No, Your Honor.
Do you still want to plead guilty to this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand by pleading guilty, you're fully admitting your guilt to the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand by pleading guilty to the felony that you're voluntarily giving up your freedom for whatever period of time I could sentence you to prison, to jail, or to community control.
Yes, Your Honor.
Having a weapon while under disability is a felony 3. It carries a 36-month maximum prison sentence and a $10,000 maximum fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you plead guilty to the forfeiture specification, you're voluntarily giving up any right you would have to the item listed. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Are you currently on post-release control to the parole authority?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand that your felony conviction prevents you from owning or possessing a firearm?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand that if a prison sentence is imposed in this case, you might have to serve a period of post-release control for up to 2 years under the parole authority?
Yes, Your Honor.
And if you are placed on post-release control and violate any conditions, the parole authority could send you back to prison for up to 9 months for each violation, up to 1/2 of my sentence. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If the violation is a new felony, then you could get an additional consecutive prison sentence for that violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
If that were to occur, the maximum prison sentence for the violation would be the greater of 12 months or the time left under post-release control. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you understand if a prison term is imposed, you are eligible for judicial release?
Yes, Your Honor.
I could place you on community control for up to 5 years, but if you violate any conditions, I could send you to prison for 36 months. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you that I would be lenient on you just because you're pleading guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you what I will sentence you to in this case?
No, Your Honor.
Do you understand I do not have to follow the sentencing recommendation of either the prosecutor or your lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you had enough time to talk with Ms. Hanson before pleading guilty today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has she discussed everything about your case and answered all of your questions?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you satisfied with the advice she has given you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you been threatened or coerced in any way to plead guilty today?
No, Your Honor.
Are you freely, knowingly, and voluntarily entering your guilty plea?
Yes, Your
Do you
Honor.
have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Cutts, if the case with the trial, what would the evidence show?
Thank you, Your Honor. Had this matter proceeded to trial, the state would have proven beyond a reasonable doubt that on December 7th of 2024, shortly after 9 p.m., Wickliffe Police Department officer was on patrol, saw a vehicle with only one functioning headlight traveling eastbound on Euclid Avenue near 90 westbound ramp in Wickliffe, Lake County, Ohio. The traffic stop was conducted. The driver and only occupant was the defendant, who was identified as Shahid C. Woodson. While at the vehicle, the officer saw the defendant moving a plastic container with green leafy substance and some U.S. currency, and as well as moving a black backpack. When asked, the defendant admitted it was marijuana. When asked if there was a weapon within the vehicle, the defendant admitted that his wife's pistol was inside of his bag, the black bag on the front passenger seat. Officer learned through CCH that the defendant had felony drug convictions. Inside of the black backpack was found a .22 caliber Ruger handgun. The magazine with 6 rounds inserted into the gun and 1 round in the chamber. There were also packages of THC candies, baggies, scales, grinder, and a pill bottle without a label on it. The plastic container was found to have a bag of marijuana and $271 in U.S. currency. The defendant was arrested and taken back to the Wickliffe Police Department, where he admitted that he knew he had prior drug convictions and wasn't allowed to possess the firearm, and all the items in the backpack were his. The firearm was sent to the Lake County Crime Lab, where it was found to be operable. The marijuana was sent to the Lake County Crime Lab and confirmed to be marijuana, Schedule I controlled substance. The defendant is under disability since he has been convicted of a felony offense involving illegal possession, use, sale, administration, distribution, or trafficking in a drug of abuse. Specifically, he has convictions for trafficking in drugs in the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas, case number CR 06-481435, dated January 2007. Possession of drugs in the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas, case number CR 99-375-935, dated June of 1999. And possession of drugs in the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas, case number CR 98-361-253, dated in June of 1998. All this occurring in Lake County, Ohio, and that would have been the state's evidence.
All right, Ms. Hanson, anything to add to those facts?
No, Your Honor, that was a correct and accurate recitation of the facts.
All right, Mr. Woodson, did you hear what Ms. Cutts said the facts would show if the case went to a trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are those facts true?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your plea then to having weapons while under disability, felony 3?
Guilty.
And what is your plea to the forfeiture specification?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Hanson?
Thank you, Your Honor. We would ask that the court...
Here, have him take that and sign the plea, please.
Confirmation of your guilty plea I told you about. Sign and date. And today is the 14th.
Here, I've received the written plea of guilty and judgment entry. Witness the defendant signed the document in court. His counsel signed, I signed it. We did clarify, since the signature line says Evans LLC, that Ms. Hanson is here on his behalf. We did not specify that on the waiver of indictment.
Okay. All right, Mr. Woodson, is this your signature on this written plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you sign it voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want me to accept the written plea of guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I'll accept the written plea of guilty. The defendant was present with counsel, advised of all of his rights, being knowing, intelligent, and voluntary. Waiver of those rights, he understands the nature of the charge, a consequence of his guilty plea, and the maximum penalty. Find it to be knowing, intelligent, and voluntary. Will accept his plea of guilty and find him guilty of having weapons while under disability, a felony 3, and the forfeiture specification. I'm going to refer this for a pre-sentence report. And a drug and alcohol evaluation. Sentencing will be March 19 at 2 p.m. and the bond is continued. Anything else, Ms. Cutts?
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Ms. Hanson?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, we're adjourned.